"There's something moving inside her stomach," said Dr. Emily Carter, her voice trembling with a mix of disbelief and excitement. It had been an ordinary Tuesday morning at the small-town veterinary clinic nestled in the heart of Maplewood, Wisconsin. The clinic was modest, walls adorned by faded posters about pet care, a cheerful golden retriever statue that greeted every visitor at the door, and the faint scent of antiseptic and dog treats hanging in the air like a familiar perfume. Dr. Carter was the sole veterinarian running the clinic, with the help of her assistant, Laura Jenkins, and an eager intern, Kevin Thompson. The town's pets were their usual clientele: chatty parakeets, curious kittens, loyal golden retrievers, and the occasional senior dachshund who'd been with the same family since the 1990s. Emily sipped her coffee, the steam warming her face as she reviewed the day's schedule. She barely set her mug down when Laura burst through the door, her tone signaling urgency. "Dr. Carter, there's a stray dog outside. Looks like she's been through a lot. What should we do?" Emily set her mug down, adjusting her white coat. Stray animals weren't uncommon in Maplewood, especially after storms or harsh winters, but the concern in Laura's voice piqued her curiosity. Together, they stepped out into the crisp autumn air, and there she was, a medium-sized German Shepherd mix, her fur matted with burrs and dried mud, her ribs starkly visible beneath her thin frame. She stood hesitant by the clinic's entrance, amber eyes darting nervously, flinching at the slightest movement. Yet, despite her obvious fear, she hadn't run. She'd come here, as if she somehow knew this place might be her sanctuary. Kevin, who had been sweeping the front porch, had already placed a bowl of water a few feet away. She eyed it warily, but made no move to drink. "Poor thing," Emily murmured. "She's been out there for a while, hasn't she?" "Yeah," Laura replied. "A couple of folks in town mentioned seeing her near the park over the weekend. She wouldn't let anyone near her." Emily crouched slowly, her voice soft and soothing. "Hey there, sweet girl. It's okay. We're here to help you." She motioned for Kevin to bring a leash and a handful of peanut butter treats. The universal language of trust for dogs in distress. The dog's ears perked at the sound of Emily's voice, though her body remained tense. But Emily's calm demeanor, the gentle rhythm of her breathing, and the irresistible scent of treats eventually coaxed her forward. It took time, patience, 3 full stops, but finally the dog allowed Emily to slip the leash around her neck. Once inside the clinic, she seemed to exhale, her shoulders dropping, her tail no longer tucked. As if she'd finally reached solid ground after months of drifting, they examined her in the bright, sterile treatment room. Laura and Kevin stood by, ready to assist, as Emily worked with gentle hands and even gentler words. The dog's condition was worse than they'd initially thought. Her paws were raw from endless wandering. Old scars crisscrossed her shoulders, signs of past trauma. Her coat was dull, her eyes sunken. "She doesn't have a collar or microchip," Laura noted, after scanning her thoroughly. Emily nodded. "She's been on her own for quite some time. I'm not sure what her story is, but we'll make sure she gets a second chance." As they continued the examination, Emily's brow furrowed. Her fingers paused mid-palpation. "What is it?" Laura asked, noticing the shift. "There's some swelling here," Emily said, her voice low. "It could be an infection, a tumor, or—" She didn't finish the thought. Instead, she turned to Kevin. "Prep the ultrasound." The room fell silent as the gravity of her words sank in. Kevin wheeled in the machine. Laura gently held the dog, now unofficially named Daisy, in place, stroking her head to keep her calm. Daisy remained remarkably still as the wand glided over her abdomen. Then, on the screen, movement. Small, rhythmic, unmistakable. "Oh my gosh," Laura whispered. "Are those?" Emily nodded, her voice a mix of wonder and professional awe. "Puppies. She's pregnant." The revelation left everyone stunned. Daisy's thin frame. Her malnourished state. Nothing had hinted at life growing inside her. And yet, there they were. 6 tiny heartbeats, flickering like fireflies in the grainy grayscale. "How is that possible?" Kevin asked, his voice tinged with disbelief. "She's so frail." "Dogs are incredible," Emily replied, her eyes never leaving the screen. "Even in the hardest circumstances, they find a way to survive. But this complicates things. She's not in any condition to carry these puppies without help." Daisy's amber eyes met Emily's, deep, knowing, almost apologetic, as if sensing her secret had been uncovered. Emily stroked her head gently. "Don't worry, girl. We're going to take care of you. And your babies." That evening, as snow began to fall softly over Maplewood, Emily sat on the clinic porch with Daisy by her side. The dog rested her head on Emily's lap, her breathing slow and steady, her eyes reflecting the peace of a life filled with purpose and love. "You've been my greatest teacher, Daisy," Emily said softly. "Because of you, I've learned what it means to truly care, to fight for something bigger than myself. Thank you for showing me the way." Daisy licked her hand, her tail wagging gently. In that moment, Emily felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The journey they had embarked on together had been full of challenges, but it had also been filled with triumphs. Every life they'd touched, every bond they'd formed, was a testament to the resilience of the human-animal connection. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Emily knew their work was far from over. There would always be more animals in need, more stories waiting to unfold. But with Daisy by her side, she felt ready for whatever came next. Because together, they would continue to make a difference, one paw at a time.